Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are playing with the Fancy Pants Hollows Eve collection, and we are going to be doing something different. Now, I always do like 12 by 12s or mini albums, but we're going to play with a Memory Decks die that I got from All in Create. I picked it up on a cherry on top, and it came with this die to make the memory decks, okay? So the one that makes this, and then these little ones that make little flower bits, right? But we're not going to use the flowery bits because that makes it flowery and cute. But we're going to use the collection. So I've pulled a couple of these pages. Maybe we'll make like 4 of them. I was auditioning out, you know, this green. I used pieces of it in my first project. And so I can probably get the witch right there in that one. But then, see, the only thing is, a lot of it's going to get covered up with the embellishments, so I really want to get as many as I can from this one. 1, 2. Actually, I might only be able to get 2 anyway because of the size that it is. So maybe I will audition it out. I'll cut out the witch from here, and then this little girl and the bats, and then have this one, and then we'll cut one out of, a couple of them out of this. For either this side or this side could work really well. And then we'll just decorate them. So Memory Decks cards, I believe, you know, they used to be more popular in the past, because I know like Heidi Swapp used to offer like a Memory Decks class and die set. Heidi Swapp did, and there was also a punch that where you can, you know, cut out anything, and then there was the punch to make these. And so people make cute ones still that I watch like on Instagram and stuff, just as like a quick project, probably using their scraps and then putting it in like a little memory decks thing so that you can always turn back to it. So I'm just going to feel like making a few Halloween ones. That way we can use our stash in different ways, you know, not only just for scrapbooking 12 by 12. So I have my plates for my manual die cutting. And I have my Spellbinders one. So let's get started. So let's make some Memory Decks cards. Now I thought this thing was like 4 inches by 4 inches. That way I would get like what, 9 from a 12 by 12. But I think it's a little off, or maybe I just cut terribly off, because I think from one 12 by 12 paper I only could get 4. I think is how it went. But this was done in a couple of sittings. So I sat here and did, I think, about 4 with you. And then you'll see on the outro that I had like insomnia one night and just came to my craft room and continued going because I just could. And, you know, I didn't want to put on the lights and I didn't want to wake up anyone because I couldn't sleep. And I made like another 6 or 8. And so then I have a collection of 11 or 12 of them. It became like, you know, obsessive, and it was actually quite fun. And in my outro, I know I mentioned that it's kind of like it was like my gateway into card making. Like, I'm not a card maker, but layering up the little elements and, you know, using the die cuts and the variation of the foam thickers and some sequins and just everything to make the front look really cute. I can see how like I could have just made these all into cards and have done pretty much like the same kind of steps, you know? So I don't know. Am I a card maker? Am I going to be a card maker? My entryway was Memory Decks cards. But the intention is to, I'll let you know here too. So I signed up to do the Paige Evans Tricks and Treats scrapbooking weekend in Colorado, and it's the second weekend in November, and I am in a Memory Decks swap with that conference. It's just something that she hosts, so we all are in a group, and if we want to exchange, you need to come with like 25 of the Memory Decks cards. So after making these, I kept on making, honestly, I've now made tons of Memory Decks cards in order to go to this event and exchange, so it'll be super fun. And I can show you all the ones that I get when I return. So it's kind of excited. And like I said, these were the first 11 or 12. And then I took out the, is it Amber Autumn, the collection I just worked on with Fancy Pants. And I made like another 8 or 10 from there. And then I took out last year's collection for Autumn, which was the Enchanted Forest. It was the one with the gnomes and the mushroom houses, and I made like 6 from that one. So I definitely use a lot of my Fancy Pants collections to make all these fall Halloween themed cards to go to this event and exchange with fellow scrappy girls. And so with my formula, you saw me using some vellum to make ruffles. You see me using the foam thickers. Like, I throw on a foam thicker on at least each of them, and then I use either a die cut or a sticker. What I like about Fancy Pants collections too is that usually an icon that you have on the foam sheet is in the die cut pack and is in a sticker option as well. So you have the image to use like about 3 times usually, at least for the major ones, or like the ones that are iconic to the collection, like this little pumpkin man. Yeah, he looks like a snowman, but he's made of pumpkins. He's cute, and you can actually see all 3 of them. 1, 2 next to my ATG gun, and then the one that I just tossed away to the left of the screen was the 3rd one that was from the die cut pack. There it is. And so that's kind of cool with the collection. So if you like it and you like the icon, especially if you like the icon, then you can use it more than once, and that's really good. I also die cut it out, or fussy cut out, a lot of the bigger like cat and pumpkin faces from that large 12 by 12. That page was perfect for a project like this too. So card makers, because you can have all these big fun icons that are like iconic to the kit, because they use them in the stickers, like I said, and in the foam collections, which I think is great. And honestly, the whole memory decks thing, it's making a comeback, because now I find myself trying to look for a memory decks card holder. I know I've seen some DIYs from little baskets with just dowels glued into it from like the Dollar Tree, so I might give that a try. Because I can see myself making some memory decks cards. And even in my mixed media, it's almost like they call them like ATC cards. They call them some artist trading cards, ATC cards. And a lot of mixed media collage artists work on that size, and then they do swaps as well. And I've seen them be done on memory decks, or like Rolodex cardstock, and exchange them too. And then they display like these little mini, when you do, like, say if you're doing like a 100-day project, the ATC card, it's almost like a 3x4 card. And you get a small project to do every day, which is manageable. You're not doing some elaborate, double page layout in your journal. You can do a little index card and call it a day and hole punch it. There is an older memory decks card punch from Heidi's Swap that's like no longer available. If I could ever find one, that would probably be perfect. And that way I can always just punch the little double hole that it needed and put it on a Rolodex holder. And which, in fact, I think I have an old Rolodex roller from the office, now that I'm talking out loud with you, that I probably could use. I might have a new project, you guys. I'm going to be a memory decks maker. Because I feel myself using it too, also, like with my mixed media, like exactly, like maybe I'll take part for the first time in like the 100-day project and just do them on memory decks cards, because that is manageable every day to accomplish, rather than trying to do a page in the journal. I'm just thinking out loud, but this was the process, and this turned out so good. So I'm actually really considering, maybe this is a thing I do per collection too, like to show off the collection and remember it. Make a memory decks to put in my collection, my memory decks Rolodex or whatever, and that way I can always have it and showcase it, the collections that I work on. That's very nostalgic of me. That way, like 10 years from now, I'm looking back, I'm like, oh, remember Hallows Eve collection from Fancy Pants? I mean, maybe I don't need that, but you know what I'm saying. You can just always have a card that represents the collection that you were working with, which can actually be a nice nod to the paper crafting community, right? But I could see myself doing this. Like, maybe I should do some Christmas ones too, and maybe we should do an exchange ourselves and make some Christmas themed ones. Even though, let's be honest, Christmas for all of us, when you're doing December daily, gets crazy. You probably don't want to do a mail exchange, but maybe in the new year, that could be something that us crafty girls can do, is like a whole exchange, if you're interested. I'm just thinking out loud again. See how I love talking with you guys on my YouTube channel, because these are how conversations start. So this was a fun process. Let me show you all of them that I made right now. Let me show you the collection. They're so good. Okay, everyone. So I had turned off the camera on those last 4. I was filming at night, and then I had trouble sleeping, and so I went ahead and cut out more of the memory decks cards, and then I just made like 8 more. I have a total of 12. So I will show you all of them and then give you detailed pictures, because obviously I don't have the process video for all of them, because I was creating when I could not sleep. So this one is just here because it was holding down the last piece. I just glued So this is how this one turned out. I just glued down this part. So with the ribbons and stuff, you can see I went in also and did some stitching because the double-sided tape wasn't holding it. I've added sequins from Spiegelmom scraps, always in like a greens and oranges and stuff. And it was just kind of layering, and that was kind of the fun of it. I think this is like my almost like entryway into like card making. I haven't done cards in the past, but I kind of feel like the way the layering and using the pattern papers in collections and adding the little stitch details and sequins is what makes card making so fun. So these are all using one collection, yes, but now I have an idea of just kind of bringing it to life in my crafting. Like I could be a card maker. So I'm zoomed in a lot so you can kind of see the details, the enamel dots. You can see the stitching still. I then started using just pattern paper because that was a black and white stripe one and it came out really cute. And every single card, what I always wanted to have was at least one foam thicker on it. And then either stickers and or die cuts, and everything I think has a ruffle. So those were kind of like my formula for them as well. This one was just using the butterflies. You can see the enamel dots, something foam, die cuts, stickers, and a ruffle. This one I did make in the beginning. So the skull is coming from something else. It was like a random one that I had in my boxes, but it worked out perfect for spooky. And then some of that ribbon there. Here's more. So some ribbon. You can see the stitching, sequences, something foam. This one, you know, they get dimensional with using the foam thickers and stuff, but that's okay. This one I think I did make with you as well. So just layers, and there's fun foam popping things up so that everything kind of laid in a nice plane after the ruffle. Some ribbon, sequins, foam. This little guy, little pumpkins. And it's actually also a good way, you can see all the sequins, to use a collection in its entirety, you know what I mean? So I already did one project, which I think will be posted before this one, hopefully. And then to kind of use the kit so it doesn't sit in my stash for a year. This is, you know, a great way. Oh, and that one has a long piece of thread. Let's cut that one off real quick. Just too much. Okay. We have this one, and these were leftover leaves. I had done a project recently with that Tim Holtz leaf one. You probably saw it on my channel. So I just had extra leaves on my desk. I was like, oh, I can use that too. So cute. I did a lot of cutting out of the elements, like this one, these are from that big piece of paper from the 12 by 12 that I just cut out for extra characters. And this one too. You can see everything, foam, ruffle. Oh, and then some of them didn't. So these two don't have ruffles because I just did like a layer of like the word stickers and like label stickers for like the base. So it didn't have a ruffle. These are the only two that I just used up some of the stickers and stuff. So that is the collection of them. How cute is that, you guys? So Memory Decks cards with the Hallows Eve collection from Fancy Pants. Oh, so cute. And I will have close-up videos for you. Maybe I should make one more to fill in this little spot, right? Did I not say what many does? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, I thought I had 12. Am I missing one? I'm looking around my desk. I'm like, I thought I had 12. Is there one drying somewhere? I guess I didn't have 12 exactly, so I had 11. Still a good number, so yes, thank you so much for joining me. I will leave the collection linked down below, and then I will link this little Memory Decks die that I picked up from a Cherry on Top, also linked down below. That way, in case you're ever curious on how I did them, you can make some yourself. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Give this video a thumbs up. It always helps my channel. And until next time, everyone, bye.